President Trump is in the process of interviewing candidates for the Supreme Court vacancy ahead of an announcement on Monday.
We'll make a decision on the United States Supreme Court, the new justice. That'll be made over the next few days, and we'll be announcing it on Monday.
But the confirmation process won't be a layup. The GOP only has a one-seat margin in the Senate, and Republican Senator Susan Collins says she'll oppose any nominee hostile to Roe v. Wade, which means that Trump may ultimately need support from red state Democrats running for re-election and under pressure to play ball.
And the News Talk 730 KYYA's Morning Wake Up Report. In our studio, Senator Jon Tester. Good morning, Senator.
Good morning, Scott.
Jon Tester is a Democratic senator defending his seat in a state Donald Trump won. So he talks about Trump the way you'd expect from a red state Democrat.
North Korea. Right. What do you want to see to come out of these talks?
I applaud the effort by the president. I think that this is exactly what needs to happen.
But his votes are a different story. Compared to the rest of the top targeted Democrats, Tester doesn't seem to mind pissing the president off. He's voted for Trump's priorities less than 40% of the time. Tester's careful to frame himself as an independent.
I mean, we've done our level best to make sure Montana's represented and rural America's represented in Washington, D.C., and make sure that Montana values have a place there and hold people accountable and not be afraid to stir the pot.
And voters here seem to buy it.
Senator Jon Tester has proven that he appreciates us both in talk and actions.
You know what we appreciate?
What's that?
How you navigate being a moderate in a very polarized world.
Yeah.
People ask whether I'm Democrat or Republican. I tell them I'm a radical moderate.
Tell them you're a Montanan. That's exactly.
A radical moderate. Let me get your picture, Dad.
In a state where there's no party registration, Tester's banking that being a Montanan is more important to voters than his opposition to the president. And it's hard to find somebody more Montana than a guy who's still working on his century-old family farm.
Oh, Jesus Christ, what was that? My grandfather came out here in 1910, and he farmed it until 1943 when my folks took it over, and they farmed it till 78, and Charlotte and I have been doing it since then. The average farm in eastern Montana is about 5,000 acres. We're about 1,800 acres. It's good. You know, we've had to add a little income. We've got a butcher shop there on the other side of our 3-stall garage. That's where I lost my fingers. You never get in a fight with power equipment, you know, and I got in a fight with a meat grinder.
Yeah, you went back to the meat grinder, right? I still
use that meat grinder, yeah.
Tester plays up these Montana roots in his campaign, while attacking his Republican opponent, Matt Rosendale, for moving to the state 16 years ago.
A millionaire real estate developer from Maryland, where he made a lot of money turning farmland into developments.
This has worked for Tester in the past. He's eked out slim victories twice now. There's not a lot of polling on this race yet, but it's expected to be tight yet again. And this year, the president's put a target on his back.
I know things about Tester that I could say too. And if I said him, he'd never be elected again.
The feud started when Tester publicized anonymous concerns about Ronnie Jackson, the White House doctor Trump had nominated to lead the VA.
They called him the Candyman. We're learning new details about the allegations against President Trump's nominee for Veterans Affairs Secretary.
Jackson denied the allegations, but the negative press helped sink his nomination.
I have a constitutional role to confirm nominees and vet those nominees. We had questions to ask, and we needed answers. I put them out there because I knew they were going to get asked in the committee meeting when he was under oath. And quite frankly, I thought he would be able to answer them.
Had your office fully vetted all of the allegations that you released?
We had gotten similar allegations from many different points. We got 25 different folks that called us that were making the same allegation, basically, from different points of view.
But you
thought it was
track
important.
Him down.
Well, look, I mean, I think it was important to let him respond to him.
Right.
I mean, I think that was the best choice. I wasn't going to hire a private investigator and go down it.
Well, I only asked because the White House obviously did its own investigation and pushed back against some of the specifics.
Well, just remember this. The Department of Defense Inspector General is now doing an investigation on Ronnie Jackson.
After Jackson withdrew his name, Trump called for Tester's resignation.
Do you think it's appropriate behavior for the President of the United States to call for a sitting senator to resign?
He can do whatever he wants. I'm still a U.S. Senator.
That wasn't a no. You think that's appropriate?
Look, it wasn't a no because it's the truth. He's the President of the United States. He can do whatever he wants. I don't believe he's above the law, but that's not a law-breaking crime, what he did.
Do you trust President Trump?
Yeah, I mean, if I didn't, we'd have a big problem.
He's reversed his stance on healthcare, on DACA. He's been all over the place on trade.
Do I think that he's been consistent with his perspective? No.
So how do you trust him?
That's different than not trusting.
How do you trust him then?
I mean, the truth is when he came after me and Ronnie Jackson, he was straight up about it. Didn't stab me in the back.
Attack me, at least he did it on Twitter.
He attacked me to my face. I'm okay with that.
This is how awkward it is to run for re-election as a red state Democrat. After Trump attacks you, you still have to defend him and hope that voters give you the benefit of the doubt.
Why are you feeling confident about November?
I'm not.
Really?
Never feel confident. You're always running from behind. Campaigns are a lot of work, and if you ever feel confident, you're going to lose.